Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.
Happy New Year's. Okay, so I have to be honest. Short words. Right. She's joking. I finished my second master's as of yesterday. Handed that over and was like, see you later. But one of the sources of constructive criticism that I received from another student was that I use big words. And sometimes that's frustrating and confusing. So to try and work on my vocabulary. So I will attempt to use small words. That's not true. I'm not going to listen to that at all. I'm going to take it for what it is, constructive criticism. I've acknowledged it. I've moved on with my life. Okay. So today is the new year of the church year. And I love Advent so much, even though it sneaks up on us every single year, just like your New Year's resolutions sneak up on you every single year. So we begin year C. So the lectionary is what we call it, and it's the Bible, and we break it up into 3 sections, and we break it up over 3 years. In theory, we read the entire Bible in those 3 years based on that lectionary cycle. So for all those churches who are like, we're Bible-based, we'd be like, booyah, whole Bible. 3 years. Beat that. But it's an incredible time. And Advent can be confusing. So for a lot of people, they're like, oh, it's like Little Lent. It is not like Little Lent. It is the preparation of what is to come. And each week of Advent has kind of a theme, if you will. And you may have picked up based on our readings that it's the end times. So the first Sunday of Advent is really apocalyptic. And that can seem really dark and scary, right? I mean, anyone, not me personally, but I have a spouse who loves apocalyptic shows. I cannot stand apocalyptic shows because if you've ever noticed, apocalypse is bad, right? Like, it's not a good thing. And I think maybe some of that idea that Advent is like Little Lent is from that. This sense that the end is going to be bad. It's going to be scary. It's going to be awful. It's just scary. And because during Advent we do a lot of really serious work. The topics are really serious. And y'all come and complain to me about when can we do Christmas music, because we like Christmas music, and Advent music is kind of dirgy. Oh, kids, it ain't nothing like Lent, so just go with it. But what if we looked at an apocalypse as it really truly is? It's a new birth and a new beginning. And Advent is a new birth and a new beginning of the church year. We get to do this again. We get to start all over. It's all fresh. It's all new. And apocalypse is trauma. Apocalypse is scary. Change is trauma. Change is scary. Really looking at ourselves, preparing for what is to come is scary. And it's often messy. Now, I'm only going to speak for myself, but when I'm preparing for people to visit my home, it's scary and it's traumatic because I'm like, really need to clean because it's chaos. If you've ever been in my house, if you've ever talked to me for 2 minutes, you know my life is chaotic. My house matches my life. And I'm like, okay, really got to clean, and I'm going to have to deal with those dust bunnies that I would really prefer to believe aren't there. That's Advent. Advent is preparation for this amazing thing that is to come and having to deal with the dust bunnies that we wish weren't there. Because you cannot have birth. You cannot have resurrection. You cannot have new beginning without trauma. Anyone ever been present for a birth? Like, literally the only good thing about being a mom, literally the only good thing about being a mom is that I was back here. And I didn't see that all go down. I'm not one of those people who has a romantic view of birth. It's nasty. And y'all know I'm kind of a hippie, and so there were a couple people in my life who were like, so are you home birth, whatever? And I'm like, who's going to clean it up? Because I ain't cleaning it up. I'll pay people to clean that up. Because let's be realistic. It's messy. It's nasty. It's painful. It's chaotic. And it's no more easy if you're sitting on the outside watching it go down. Wherever you are in that situation, it's messy. It's chaotic. It's traumatic. It's traumatic for that poor baby. Don't nobody want to go through that? They're reading, they don't remember. It's awful. It is apocalyptic. It is apocalyptic, and yet it is one of the biggest miracles of our lives. It is beautiful on the other side. After somebody else who has like 5 degrees cleans that up. Because that is creation. That is new beginning. That is life. That is what we're moving towards. We are moving towards God breaking into our lives as a child. In a messy, chaotic, apocalyptic sort of way. You think Mary wanted any part of that? Oh, hell no. But she did. And creation and newness comes out of people doing things that they don't want to do. But they do it anyway. So what if? What if we looked at apocalypse a little bit differently? What if we looked at the trauma and the scary things and the places we don't want to go and the things that we don't want to do as new birth, as an opportunity for new beginning? What if we did that? What if instead of running from those things, we looked at them head on and we say, I will, with God's help? What if? What would that change? And I asked us to do that in our personal lives, and I asked us to do that as a parish. For the last 3.5 years, it's been apocalypse. It has been, maybe 4. We did things that we didn't want to do. We went places we didn't want to go. For those of you who aren't familiar with what this church went through, about 4 years ago, we came to a place of saying this is not possible. It is not possible to have a mortgage. It is not possible to have the bills that we have. It is not possible to have a full-time priest with all these other things that we have going on. It's not possible. And that was a painful period of time. It was apocalypse for me personally. It was apocalypse for this church. That was not where we wanted to go. It was not what we wanted to do. And we've been in labor pains for 3.5 years. 3.5 years. That's a really long time. But we did it. And what does it mean for us to look at that, not as apocalypse and scary and awful and painful and all those things, but as an opportunity for new beginning? Because, guys, it's Advent. We did it. We got through the messiness. We got through the painfulness. We got through the apocalypse. What does it mean for us to embrace that and say, new beginning? We got this. What does that mean? What does that mean in our personal lives when things fall apart, when relationships break, when we get awful news? What does it mean for us to walk into that apocalypse and live it? What does it mean for us to come out of that news and find a new beginning? That's what I ask us to really think about. We're beginning Advent. We're starting a whole new beginning. We get to start fresh. That doesn't mean that the apocalypse isn't there. The apocalypse is there. The pain and the trauma and the scary, it's there. But in that pain and that trauma and that scary is new birth and new life. And you cannot have new birth and new life without the pain and the trauma and the scary. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's not clean. We want it to be, but it isn't. So I ask you, Happy New Year. What are we going to do with it? Not trip over Mary.
We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.